Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my new video. My name is AJ. I'm here to talk about a few topics today. Talking about Julian Assange, what my thoughts are, and I'll give you my opinions on that. I'll also be talking a bit more about Boris's scandals, the corruption scandals, the lies, the parties, the flat refurbs, the state of Britain's economy under Boris. And it's looking really bad, guys. Very, very bad. I'm also going to be talking about the latest on Omicron virus. And I'm going to finish off with news about Liz Truss becoming the next Prime Minister, which is going to be a disaster for UK. Absolute disaster. So without further ado, guys, let's go with the show. Before I start, guys, I want to thank you all for the support and love you're giving me. I really, really appreciate it. YouTube doesn't show me any love. As you can see, my last video was demonetized. So as you can see, this video is running limited or ads due to content identified as not suitable. So I guess they didn't like my content where I talk about Boris taking drugs and all of that. And there's Parliament found some drugs as well. So I guess they don't like me talking about that. But I'm here to talk the truth, guys. I'm not making this up. And I'm going to show you something here.
Have you snorted cocaine?
I tried to, but
you've tried to snort cocaine?
Unsuccessfully a long time ago.
This was Boris Johnson 14 years ago.
I sneezed. Right. A very small quantity. It was a long, long time ago. I think it's probably a totally disgusting and ridiculous thing to do. And what else can I say about it?
3 years later, he said it was simply untrue that he'd taken cocaine.
Not to my knowledge.
Have you snorted?
So you can see, guys, I'm not making this up. This is actually out of Boris's own words. He had taken it in the past. And when you take something like that in the past once, you don't do it once. You do it all over again. It's like smoking. Once you start smoking, you say you'll do it once and you keep going back to it. Same with everything, same with alcohol, you know, any sort of these addictions, you do it once, you get hooked and you keep on doing it. So anyone that says, you know, they've tried it once, I don't believe them. They'll, you know, someone would, if they tried it once, they've tried it more than once. So going back to this, guys, I appreciate all the help and support you guys are giving. And if you can, like, share, subscribe, that'll be really, really appreciated. Or you can buy me a coffee, or you can join my Patreon. Right now, my Patreon's on 39. So let's make that magic number 40. That'll be really good if we can make it 40 members, 40 patrons. That's an amazing number. And as you've seen with the Julian Assange case, creators like myself are in major danger. I'm in UK at the moment, and they don't like people telling the truth. They don't like people with free speech. All Julian Assange did was speak the truth, and look where it got him. And that's the same danger that we all face, creators like myself. So I am, you know, going out my way to speak the truth and spread the truth and things like that. So I am in a kind of danger as well. Such thing as free speech anymore. I could lose my job over it, and I could lose my freedom over it, and I can go to jail and even get extradited to US. So who knows? So I appreciate all the help you guys are doing. It is going for a good cause. You are supporting the truth. You are supporting justice, and in the future it could save lives. So without further ado, guys, let's go on with the show. So I'm going to talk a bit more about Boris today, and looking at all the local papers. All the papers have turned against him. All his Tory members looks like they've turned against him, and the public have turned against him. He's getting unbelievable amounts of pressure to quit, and I don't think he'll last until Christmas. If it does, it'll be a miracle. So this story is about him refurbishing his flat using Tory money or government money. So basically, his flat cost a refurb of between 85,000 and 88,000, and he could claim under the party 30,000 maximum. So where did the rest of the money come from? It didn't come from his pocket, because he was going through a messy divorce at the time, so he couldn't pay for it himself. So basically, he got the money from the Tory funds, and he tried to lie about it. And as you can see, he's been accused of lying during his flat refurbishment investigation. But this is all Boris has done throughout his time as a Prime Minister. He's just been lying and lying through his teeth. one lie after another, and finally it's all caught up with him. He's like the dodgiest guy we've ever had as Prime Minister, the most corrupt, the most dodgiest, and I've not seen anyone more dodgy than this guy. In fact, I would go as far as say I've seen Indian scam artists and Indian scam phone callers less dodgy than this guy. Seriously. And he is not very popular at the moment. As you know, the Omicron virus has gone up in London. There's 30% of the cases in London are now Omicron, and I think today it's gone to about 633 cases. So it's doubling almost every day. And he's brought in some restrictions which people are not happy about, and they're talking about bringing more tougher restrictions. And I'll tell you what about people in UK. If you're going to put them through another lockdown, they will revolt, and I will tell you that right now. I mean, I talk to a lot of people that I know, and also a lot of people that I meet along the streets. If there is another lockdown, people are not going to listen, or people are going to start rioting. They are not going to like it at all. It's going to be another Austria where people just go to the streets and start rioting, because I swear another lockdown is just going to piss people right off. So how's the UK economy doing? So this week, this report came that the UK economy grew just 0.1% in October. 0.1% it grew in October. And that is without any lockdowns, without everything was supposed to go back to normal. So can you see how bad this is, guys? You know, when everything has gone back to normal and you only grow 0.1% in October, then things are not looking good at all. So I want to show you this graph actually, and this graph, you can see the title here, UK trade has shrunk since Brexit while EU thrives. So this report has been released by the government, and it's not made up figures, and as you can see these are UK trade figures compared to EU. So in 1997, UK's trade was higher than the EU, but that time EU just started, and slowly, obviously, EU had been going up and up and up. 2008 was the financial crisis, so UK's trade had gone down around 2008, and it took a few years to recover. Same with the EU as well, so you can see the trade going down, and slowly it was recovering. So around 2012, it started recovering and things started going up. So the UK growth was growing, but the EU growth had been growing larger and larger. So you got the Brexit on 2020, and you got all of the COVID stuff as well. And you can see the UK economy and the trade as well had been going down. But if you look at the EU, 2020, when everything was locked down, when there was Brexit, you can see the EU's trade had actually gone down in 2020. But 2021 is shot back up again, and it shot back up almost to the same level as 2017, 2018, even higher than 2016. So EU trade has gone up, you know, almost as much as before the Brexit, before all of this COVID happened. But look at UK. UK's trade has actually gone down, you know, since Brexit, since all of this COVID happened. So you can see how, you know, crap the UK economy is at the moment, and things like this is actually turning a lot of papers. So you can see the Express says UK has failed to make Brexit vote profitable with prospect of global Britain fading. So the Express has been one of the most a pro-Brexit paper. You can see Express appears to have changed its tone on Brexit on the back of broad data from the Bank of England. So this data is coming from Bank of England. It's not coming from nobody. So the Express, which was one of the most pro-Brexit paper out there, suddenly wrote a paper on this, and they're now changing their tune. And like I said, I've been saying it from day one. It's no point changing your tune now. It's too late. All of these Brexiteers who have been fighting for Brexit, now they've got no proof that Brexit is actually helping Britain. There's proof that Brexit is actually making Britain go down. So all of these people saying, oh, we're global Britain, we're going to have all these amazing trade deals after Brexit, we're going to be better than Europe. Well, you know, what's happening to all these voices now? All of these people in businesses that were saying, oh, Brexit is going to be amazing for us, these businesses are going down the pan. And I'm going down the high street as well. So many shops around high street just shutting down left, right, and centre. They just can't afford it. And I'm living in Manchester at the moment. Our Debenhams, one of the biggest stores in town, is shut down, and as well as loads of other stores in town as well. They just shut down, and you walk around Manchester and you see a lot of to-lets or a lot of shops that have been shut. And another lockdown is just going to kill the industry. It's just going to kill Britain, absolutely. So all of these people living in a fake world saying that Britain's going to do well, it doesn't matter about Brexit. Well, where are they now? America is supposed to give Britain a trade deal. And Britain is actually at the bottom of the pile when it comes to having a free trade deal with the US. US just wants Britain as a poodle, and that's what Britain is at the moment. It's just a poodle of the US. They'll do whatever the US says, but when it comes to returning the favor, or maybe the poodle wants a biscuit, the US is nowhere to be found. So one minute you have the US saying, Britain, get out of the Olympics. I want you to do a diplomatic boycott of the Olympics, same as us. Yes, sir, whatever you say, sir. Britain, kick out Julian Assange, give it to us. Yes, sir, whatever you say, sir. Oh, can I say something, sir? We're doing all of this stuff for you. Do you mind giving us a free trade deal? Get lost. Yes, sir, whatever you say, sir. That's exactly what it is like. There is no benefits in being US's poodle, yet Britain still becomes a poodle to the US without questions asked. Absolutely ridiculous, guys. And you got to blame Boris for that as well. Because before Boris, UK actually had a good relationship with China and other countries. They had a independent foreign policy. Since Boris comes along, yes, sir, whatever you say, sir. Bend over, sir. Let me kiss it for you, sir. Please, sir. Absolutely embarrassing, guys. Absolutely embarrassing. And you can see in this RT column, US sees UK as an obedient poodle in Assange case. And exactly, that's what the world thinks of UK now. They've got no superpower status. They're just a joke around the world. People see UK as just like a poodle of the US. They've got no foreign policy, they've got no independence, no sovereignty. Whatever the US says, UK gladly does. And the people in UK, oh, don't get me started. I'm talking about the media, people in LBC, the politicians. They're all just right-wing, guys. All of them right-wing. They all follow US blindly. US can do no wrong. They're a little master. They love being a poodle to the US. So this brings me to talk about the main part of the show, Assange. And as you know, Assange is an Australian resident, and Australia's pretty much turned their backs on him because they are also poodles of America as well. And what's happening in the UK courts, it is absolutely shameful, absolutely shameful. The CIA tried to kill Assange, everybody knows that. And look what happened to that Jeffrey Epstein, and everyone knows that Jeffrey Epstein was not committed suicide in his cell. Somebody wanted him to die, and he had way too many secrets to share, so he had to go. Same with Assange. The CIA has actively said that they want to kill him basically, and here UK is they want to send him to the US. Makes no sense, guys, because the previous judge says he's not well enough to go to the US, and there is a big danger if he gets sent to the US, he'll get tortured or he'll be killed. And this judge completely turned it around, saying, "Oh, the US has said we'll treat him nicely," and the judge bloody believed the US. So, okay, yeah, the US has said they're going to treat them nicely, so we're going to send Assange to them. Absolutely ridiculous. What kind of justice is that, guys? What kind of Western justice? Britain, should be proud of its justice system. Its justice system has been around for hundreds of years, before even America. It's a justice system which got sent out to all democracies around the world. And here it is, acting like a bloody tyrant. Whatever US says, UK just blindly follows. Forget the justice system. They want Assange, so we're going to send it to them. With no evidence, no nothing. And Assange has done nothing wrong, guys. All he did was speak the truth. He spoke about the war crimes America had been doing in Iraq and Afghanistan, which is the truth. And America just doesn't want to release that kind of information, so they wanted his head. Seriously, that's what I mean. There's no truth or justice in this world. You know, you try and speak the truth, you'll get killed, or you'll get extradited to America, or you get put in prison. And it's a dangerous thing for creators such as myself. We're putting our lives in danger if we speak out on the truth. How many channels do you see like mine out there? There's not many, guys. There isn't many, especially if I'm living in UK. You know, there's not many channels like myself in UK, you know, speaking the truth. And that's for a reason, because everyone knows that, you know, you try and speak the truth, you know, they're going to come after you. I mean, right now my subscribers are not that big. It's about 10k, or, you know, which is not that big to kind of, but if it gets to 100k, for example, then I become a huge danger, because I'm actually speaking the truth and spreading the truth to a lot more people. So that's when I'll probably become a lot more dangerous to the government. But I'll carry on doing what I'm doing, guys, because it's free speech. You know, I've got to speak what I believe in. And that is why I need your support, because if I lose my job over this one day, I've got to be able to carry on with this and support myself, as well as making these videos and to spread the truth out. So it's very, very important. So if I wanted to, guys, I could, you know, move to China and do these videos. It's much easier when you're in China and you talk crap about UK and the US. People like Barrett and living in China, you know, these guys have it easy. They're in China, so British government can't touch them, apart from these odd BBC articles showing their face and telling them they're being paid by the Chinese you know, but they don't care. They're living in China, so they can't touch them. So I wish I could be living in China, guys, but, you know, right now I can't because of COVID. I'm also married, so I can't just get up and leave. The missus has to come with me, so I've got to persuade her somehow. So going back to Assange, the UK judge has said they're happy with US's explanation that they're not going to put Assange in a tough jail. Can you really believe America on their claims that they're not going to put Assange in a tough jail? You know, America's got black sites everywhere around the world. It's got Guantanamo, it's got the Al Ghraib prison in Iraq everyone was talking about, where they tortured prisoners and Iraqi people. You know, can you actually take US for its word? America has not stuck to its word for as long as I can remember. You know, they can change the rules whenever they want. They can, you know, Trump had done it previously, Biden's doing it. You know, they can make rules and cancel rules whenever they want, because they are the biggest GDP in the world, so they feel that they can do whatever the hell they want. It's not just this, guys. It's also America told UK to boycott the Winter Olympics, and the UK has said, yes sir, whatever you say sir. So whatever the US says, the UK blindly follows, and I just don't understand why they blindly follow the US. And I'm so ashamed of the UK justice system for letting Assange go to the US. You know, this is absolutely against freedom. Absolutely against freedom. It just goes to show you're not living in a free country anymore. Assange has done nothing wrong whatsoever, and he's been languishing in prison with no trial, no charge. You know, what's his charge? There's no charge. He's just been languishing in prison all of these years. And all it did was just, you know, release the truth. And this will scare all journalists from talking the truth in the same way. And you see how the journalists are around the world and in the West. All they do is talk about a narrative. You know, they're scared to speak the truth. They're scared of losing their jobs. They're scared of being sent to prison. So a lot of these journalists, they're anti-Chinese, or they go against the narrative, or, you know, they're done. So they stick to the narrative. And that's why there's no journalism anymore in this world. Because when you try and speak the truth, when you do real journalism, this is what happens. And they're making Assange as an example of what happens if you speak the truth. So I'm going to move on to the final part of the show. And the final part of the show is about Liz Truss becoming the next Tory leader after Boris Johnson. So you can see here, Red Wall Tories set up WhatsApp group called Liz for Leader in plot to install Foreign Secretary Truss as party head. So there's a lot of people in the Tory leadership, MPs, that want Liz Truss to be the next leader to replace Boris. And I think it's going to be the worst thing, guys. This woman has got the worst foreign policy. She's as anti-China, anti-Russia as they come. So you can see Trade Secretary Truss, EU must not become dependent on China. Liz Truss warns hostile actors Russia, Iran and China will face severe consequences. Little Britain Chinese media weigh in on off reports of spat between Liz Truss and UK envoy. And you can see she's as much anti-Chinese as they come. She is the worst thing that can happen to the leadership. And she will bring the country down even more. And it's because of her that UK's trade has actually gone down. And she has been the trade secretary, and since her being the trade secretary, look at the trade of UK since she's been in power. The trade in UK has been going down and down and down. But in UK we have this policy where if you are a failure you get promoted. So she got promoted to the foreign secretary. She's a failure in the foreign secretary as well, and she's going to get promoted to become the next leader, the next prime minister. So that's what happens when you fail in UK. When you're shit at your job, you get promoted, and that's what's gonna happen to her by the looks of it. So it's either gonna be her. There's also people calling for Rishi Sunak to be a leader, as well as the Priti Patel as well. I definitely hope it's not Priti Patel. God help us. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next video.